Have you ever noticed that as women get older, the world quietly expects us to disappear into beige and black? Well, I completely disagree. Because after 50, color isn't too much. The right color, in fact, can make you look more radiant, more elegant, more alive, instantly. This isn't just about fashion. It's about color as energy, as confidence, as self-expression. Because at this stage of life, we no longer dress to impress everyone else. We dress in alignment with the woman we become. And today I'm going to show you exactly how women over 50 can wear color in creative ways that feels modern and authentic without looking overwhelming or try hard. There's a quote by Iris Apfel that I always loved. Color can raise the dead. And I truly believe that. Have you ever noticed how different you feel when you finally get out of those wintry dark colors when spring comes? And suddenly you put on a vibrant scarf, a rich print dress, or just a beautiful coral lipstick. Your face lights up, your mood changes, you stand differently. And this is especially important for us as mature women because society often encourages women over a certain age to become smaller, to conform. But this stage of life is when we become more fully ourselves. And color can be a part of that expression. So whether you are a complete beginner and feel intimidated by colors, or whether you are a love color or simply want more inspiration and confidence to play with it in a safe way, we're going to talk about how to introduce color gently, how to combine colors elegantly, monochromatic dressing, color blocking, accessories, personal coloring, undertones, intensity, and most importantly, how to wear color in a way that feels authentic to you. Because the style is deeply personal, and personal style is never about rules, it's about awareness. Now, if you're someone who mostly wears neutrals, first of all, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Neutrals are timeless, chic, and elegant, and they create a wonderful foundation. In fact, some of the most sophisticated women in the world build their wardrobes around neutrals. But sometimes a little touch of color can bring warmth and personality to that foundation. So if you're nervous about wearing color, don't start with an entire brown outfit. Start small. Start with one intentional detail. Maybe it's a scarf, maybe it's a beautiful shoe, just one element or item. And what I love about this approach is that it allows the color to become the focal point without overwhelming you, especially if you pair it with soft neutrals. Beige, for example, is one of my favorite colors to combine with brighter shades because it softens them beautifully. I made an entire video on how to wear khaki and all kinds of beige. You can watch it after you watch this video. One of the easiest and most flattering ways to wear color is near the face. This is why scarves are so wonderful. They reflect light upward toward the skin, the eyes, and the complexion. And when the color suits you, it can genuinely make you look brighter, healthier, more radiant, and more rested. Which is why I always say the right color is better than heavy makeup. And you don't need complicated styling. Honestly, I prefer simplicity. A soft fold, one effortless loop around the neck, nothing too studied. French women are wonderful at this actually. They understand that elegance often comes from looking slightly undone, not careless, but effortless. There's confidence in simplicity, and that confidence becomes even more beautiful with age. Because at this stage in life, we no longer need to prove that we are fashionable. We simply need to feel like ourselves. Now, this may sound a little philosophical, but for me, color truly is energy. Different colors evoke different emotions. Baby blue feels calming and intelligent. Green feels grounded and restorative. Red feels powerful and alive. Yellow feels optimistic. White feels fresh and clear. And what's awesome about this is that you can choose color based on how you want to feel. Some mornings, perhaps, you want softness. Other days, you want strength. Some days, you want ease. Other days, you want presence. And clothing can support that emotionally. I think women understand this instinctively. We dress emotionally far more than we realize. After 50, I think it becomes even more important to dress in a way that nourishes you emotionally instead of simply following trends. Because trends are temporary, but presence is timeless. Now, once you become more comfortable with color, you can begin to experiment a little more. One beautiful approach is color blocking. And I know sometimes the phrase color blocking sounds intimidating or very fashion forward, but really it's simply combining two or more strong colors intentionally. And this can actually feel incredibly modern and chic when done well. We all know the fashionista's favorite color combos, right? Blue and green, pink and red. Today I want to bring to you other stylish combos. For example, a red jacket with a white camisole underneath is styled with sage pants. The camisole has an important role here. It bridges the two colors and makes the look fresher and cleaner. Now, a more modern version of a nautical look that doesn't read as costume, like a navy blazer with a light blue shirt and red pants, finished with white belt and shoes for a show business vibe that will turn heads if you're in the mood. Another great trio you can try without hesitation. It works because white sharpens the green, giving the palette air and modernity, preventing the look from collapsing into heaviness. There's a cleanness to it. Black, meanwhile, anchors the composition. It gives the Cali green authority. Without black, the green can skew playful. With it, the color becomes deliberate and urban. Now, a completely different approach would be a burgundy skirt with a pink top. It looks super feminine and sophisticated without being too cutesy. It works because colors from the same family is always pleasant to the eye. This color combo is possibly one of my favorite ways to wear strong colors when I'm not in the mood for bright ones. It delivers a dose of energy just so it feels alive without losing the plot completely. It doesn't need to be oversaturated colors all the time. You can break up an all-white outfit with black accents, for example. That's a great way to ground light colors. And what I love about this is that it brings creativity back into dressing. Fashion should be fun. One of the saddest things I hear from women is, oh, I'm too old for that color. And honestly, I don't believe that. I think there are simply more flattering ways to wear certain shades. But joy has no age limit. Confidence has no age limit. Creativity certainly has no age limit. You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have it. And style is creativity. Now let's talk about one of my favorite ways to wear color, monochromatic dressing. This is when you wear one color or different shades of the same color family from head to toe. For me, it's one of the easiest ways to look instantly chic. It elongates the silhouette, it feels intentional, it feels luxurious. But to make it more interesting, try mixing textures. For example, a sheer fabrication like shantung pants and an opaque top. And finish with silver accents and white shoes, instead of the usual suspects, gold accents and black shoes. That can read as a try-hard sometimes. or shades of gray with different textures like an austere gray blazer styled with a sophisticated metallic pencil skirt and white camisole underneath. Absolutely stunning. And what makes monochromatic dressings particularly beautiful for mature women is that it creates harmony. There's a calmness to it. And sophistication often comes from harmony rather than contrast. Now, personally, I love stronger contrast because my own coloring can handle it. But not everyone has the same level of contrast. And this is where understanding your personal coloring becomes incredibly helpful. Now, I want to explain this in a very simple and practical way because I think sometimes the conversation around personal coloring becomes overly complicated. There are really two main things to understand: your undertone and your contrast level. Your undertone is either warm, cool, or neutral. And this doesn't change. And it's important because it will determine which base colors will harmonize better with your skin. If you are warm-toned, color with a golden or yellow base are often more flattering on your skin. If you're cool-toned, colors with blue undertones tend to flatter you more naturally. And if you're neutral, you can often wear a wider range. One easy way to identify this is by placing a white piece of paper near your face. Do you appear more golden, more pink, more bluish? As you can see, I appear more pink, which means I have a cool undertone. Actually, I have a neutral undertone, but tends to be a little bit cool. Another clue can be the veins on your wrist. Greenish veins often suggest warmth. My veins are blue, which often suggests coolness. Now, the second aspect is contrast, and this is something many women overlook. Contrast is the difference between your hair color, skin tone, and eyes. Women with high contrast, for example, dark hair and fair skin, can usually carry stronger and more dramatic colors beautifully. Women with softer contrast often look more harmonious in gentler, muted shades. But here's what's important. This can evolve over time. Hair changes, skin changes, we change. And I think there's something beautiful about allowing your style to evolve with you instead of clinging to a rigid rule from 20 years ago. Style should breathe with your life. I also want to say something important here. In a world of color, don't disappear into beige because society tells women over 50 to become invisible. Now, do I love beige? Absolutely. You know I do. But there's a difference between elegant neutrals and hiding. And many women begin hiding without even realizing it. They stop experimenting, they stop expressing themselves, they stop allowing themselves beauty. And I think it's such a loss because there's something incredibly magnetic about a mature woman who embraces herself fully. A woman who understands who she is, who dresses for herself, who no longer apologizes for taking up space. That energy is unforgettable. Sophia Loren once said, "Nothing makes a woman more beautiful than the belief that she's beautiful." And confidence truly changes everything. Not perfection, confidence. So I hope this video inspires you to play with color a little more. Not because you need to reinvent yourself, but because perhaps they're part of yourselves that are waiting to be expressed more fully. Maybe through a scarf, maybe through a lipstick, maybe through a bold blazer, maybe through a beautiful monochromatic look. Start where you are, experiment, observe, have fun with it. Because style should never feel like punishment. It should feel like pleasure, like artistry, like self-respect. And remember, you don't have to dress younger. You simply have to dress more you. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments what color makes you feel the most alive. I always love hearing from you. Until next time, take care everyone, stay elegant, stay curious, and I'll see you very soon. Ciao, ciao.